Welcome back, Underlord. I must say, I wasn't expecting you quite so soon. The transference may have left you feeling a bit foggy in the head. Focus now. I'll try to ease you back into it. Fortunately, this does seem to get easier each time. This is your home realm, the source of your power, and the anchor that binds you to reality. Many years ago it was destroyed, and you were cast out into formless nothing. Fortunately, you've returned from your exile to once again challenge those who would stand between us and the mortal realm of Kairos. Your resurrection heralds the next phase of our assault upon its wretched empire, now led by the newly crowned Emperor Lucius. But he is least and final of our worries. It's his generals and the protection of their goddess Kira that will truly test our mettle. Ready yourself, Underlord. Let's begin our war for the overworld. Welcome back, Underlord. You've been reborn from the swirling mists of the ether at a most opportune time. You gave Rusimov a good cracking, but you know, there's plenty of blood yet to be spilled on Kairos. I've been looking for someone to spearhead my campaign. But before we get... Welcome back, Underlord. It's been a long time since you were banished to the ether. You've returned as a husk of your former self. But I've taught far denser Underlords than you. Let's start with the basics. This is your dungeon core, the tether that allows you to manifest your malignant will. If destroyed, your consciousness will once again be scattered to the void. Your workers are an extension of your dark will. They have many jobs, but their main focus is in carving out the halls of your dungeon. Put them to work by clicking and dragging your cursor upon the flashing tiles to tag them for excavation. Your workers will now rush forth to dig out and claim the tagged area. Once they have laid down the stones, marking the ground as your own, you will be able to build rooms upon the finished tiles. While your lackeys get to work, look to the east of your dungeon core. This is a gateway, one of the many portals that you'll use to attract minions to your dungeon. Order your workers to dig a path to it now. Now that you have a gateway, minions can enter into your service. But first you'll need to build the rooms necessary to entice them in. Start by building a barracks. This room will allow your minions to hone their combat skills without the risk of permanent death or disfigurement. Select it and build it by clicking and dragging your hand across the claimed tiles. Most rooms must be built at least 3 by 3 in order to function properly, though the lair and vault are effective at any size. A gnarling has entered your dungeon. Attracted by the barracks, these green-skinned scrappers aren't quite right in the head, and they'll happily hack at your foes until someone is dead. Outside of combat, gnarlings will train themselves within your barracks. You can pick them up with a click if you find them slouching off, then deposit them anywhere within your dungeon with a right click. For further entertainment, you can always put yourself directly into their head by casting possession upon them. A gnarling has entered your dungeon.
Stay still!
You can increase the efficiency of props within your rooms by fortifying the walls closest to the props. Workers will fortify walls automatically when they've completed all their other tasks. Now that you have some minions, you will need to cater for their basic needs. First, build a lair, so the pitiful little meat sacks can get some rest.
Stay still! It listens. Stupid one.
Well done. But see how your gold reserves have been depleted. Command your workers to mine some of the nearby gold by tagging the gleaming tiles. They collect and return gold to your dungeon coffers, allowing you to spend it on whatever your dark heart desires. Your core can store up to 16,000 gold pieces. But if that number sounds pitifully small, or if wealth inspires the evil in you, simply build a vault to store more. Now that you've got a bit of coin in your pocket, you can build a slaughter pan. This room produces scores of micro-piglets, a delicacy that will sustain the weak flesh of your minions by filling their bellies with succulent pig flesh. Your dungeon has been breached. Cast Rally upon these spectres, and your minions will immediately sally forth to wreak bloody havoc. Well done. Now finish off the rest of these manifestations with a second rally flag. Your vaults cannot store any more gold. You can cast Recall upon a minion to immediately return them to your dungeon. Though if they are attacked as it channels, then the spell will fizzle into nothing. You're on a roll, Underlord, and I've been waiting far too long to begin my war for the overworld. Let us enter the realm of Kairos and continue your retraining against a more fitting enemy. Well done, Underlord. I see it all coming back quite quickly. I expected nothing less, but there's much still to learn. Why don't we work in a bit of murder while we're at it? It's time for you to enter the realm of Kairos. You're making great prep. Now's the time for a bigger challenge. Before you lies an Imperial keep, guarded by a certain Lord Rusimov. He had a bit of an accident that melted most of his face, but he's no less vigilant a soldier. You're making great progress on... Welcome to the breach, Underlord. This stronghold was built into this chasm to safekeep one of the Empire's inhibitors. With its trained garrison, it's virtually impervious to attack. Fortunately for you, their commander, Lord O'Theland, is a vacuous sort who will throw his troops at your dungeon without strategy or order. I can think of no better time for you to learn how to build defenses for your dungeon. But to do this, you'll first need a foundry. Open the veins of evil and unlock it now. You have discovered a gateway. Unlock the foundry within the veins of evil. Build one now and your minions will be happy to create defenses for your dungeon. You have claimed a gateway. To plan your dungeon, why not use the prophecy spell to clear the fog of war and scout the surrounding terrain? You've discovered a gold shrine. You're low on lockable mana. You've claimed a perception shrine. You'll need an archive and cultists in order to research that artifact. You need a larger vault. your workers can be a mindless bunch, and will continue to claim territory until you command them otherwise. Use impasse flags to limit their movement. Impasse has two modes. One to prevent your workers from claiming beyond the marked area, and another that will prevent them from travelling over the tiles completely. To dismiss an impasse flag, simply give it a slap. Or right-click the icon to dismiss all impasse flags at once. A Chanda has entered your dungeon. A Chanda has entered your dungeon. Attracted by the foundry, this gassy creature will joyfully launch the fetid contents of its stomach to attack. Your other minions would do well to stay a few steps back. Your minions' needs are not being met, Underlord. Build them the basic rooms they require. The tavern is an essential room for keeping your minions fed. As they increase in level, they will eventually rebel if there is no tavern to sate their hunger. A cultist has entered your dungeon. Open the veins of evil and unlock the Blade Lotus. Blade Lotus unlocked. The Blade Lotus is a spinning flower of destruction that tears nearby enemies into shredded flesh as it pushes them away. To build defenses for your dungeon, you need simply to lay their blueprints upon a claimed tile. Your minions will work to craft defense parts within your foundry, which will then be ferried off by your workers to construct them. Select the Blade Lotus and build it upon the flashing tile. You're low on lockable mana. Time to pay your minions, Underlord, for all their hard work. Splendidly done, Underlord. But see how some of your mana has been locked away. These defenses require a small portion of your mana in order to function. You will regain this locked mana when the defense is destroyed or sold. Many of the defenses you build can be toggled between two distinct modes, each with their own effects. Toggle the Blade Lotus by clicking it now. Blade Lotus complete. The Blade Lotus can be dropped into a hidden mode, which allows enemies to unknowingly pass over it. The perfect trap for retreating foes. Now click the Blade Lotus again to reactivate it. When active, the Blade Lotus will carve your enemies down to size, unless you're fighting those stinking dwarfs, who will end up pint-sized. Due to its small size, the Blade Lotus is most effective in tight corridors. For a bit more firepower and range, you should consider the Bombard. This defense will launch flaming iron balls at any foe that mistakenly wanders too close, swiftly turning their bodies into broken vessels of blooded mash. Select the Bombard and build it upon one of the flashing tiles to the east of your dungeon core. A gnarling has entered your dungeon. The Bombard can be placed into overdrive mode by clicking it, which will increase the speed at which it fires. However, each attack while in overdrive will damage the defense. Now that you have some offense, you should wall off your dungeon core to prevent your enemies from sneaking in and destroying it. Build a wooden door upon the flashing tile. The wooden door will slow the advance of your enemy for a short time. However, it can also be used to prevent your minions from wandering into haunted corridors or private paths. The wooden door can be toggled open and closed with a click. While closed, no minions may pass through unless the door is opened, destroyed, or sold. You've caught on quick, Underlord. Now put your murderous new talents to work. There's no doubt that the insipid Lord will soon learn of your presence and send his troops forth to die by your hand. In the meantime, you should continue to build defenses to protect your dungeon, adding any additional rooms you desire to diversify your army and improve your chances of survival. Should you wish to speed up the construction of your defenses, you can pick up defense parts from your foundry and drop them directly onto blueprints. One of your creatures has very strong opinions on trilogies. You've identified an artifact of joy. Bombard complete. You've discovered a gold shrine. Tagging it will allow your workers to mine unlimited wealth for your If your coffers are full, or if you're afraid of how wealth might change you, you can always untag it with a second click.
This evil presence shall not stand up to my might. Rally straight forth to assault them, men!
How terribly kind of the nitwit to announce his attack. Prepare to defend the center line, Underlord. Your dungeon's been breached. Your blade lotus is under attack.
Taste my pride.
What do you mean they're all dead? This threat is more serious than I thought. Give me a minute. I shall prepare a new plan of attack to thwart this devil.
Your defenses will gradually repair themselves over time. But to speed things up, drop defense parts onto them, which are constructed in the foundry.
Nice and bloody. Alluring, isn't it?
I've got it! We shall attack from the north and the center simultaneously. That should bamboozle this unholy menace.
Scatter their bones for the rats to clean. Your blade lotus is under attack. Your blade lotus is under attack. You've discovered a perception shrine. Payday has come again.
Kira's scepter! They've all been bested? Okay, hold on, I'm thinking.
You've claimed the Perception Shrine. Bombard complete. Your defenses will gradually repair themselves over time. But to speed things up, drop defense parts onto them, which are constructed in the foundry.
They'll certainly not expect this trick! Assault the center and the south! They'll never see us coming!
This blubbering dunce could have used a few firm lashes as a child. Wooden door complete. Your minions are fighting the enemy. Chunder lost. Wooden door complete. You have discovered a gateway. Gnarling lost. Your minions are under attack. Destroy the inhibitor swiftly. It lies open and undefended, but for that odious blackguard. Gnarling lost. Chunder lost. Silence has never sounded quite so sweet.
By the light! Have none of you had any training at all?
Insufficient manner. Superbly executed. Before we move on, I must warn you, the next inhibitor comes with an unpleasant surprise. Your defense... Fine work, Underlord. Now that Otheland and his cronies are a dehydrated paste, let's... Revenge is a dish best served Here entrenched lies the traitorous Underlord Marcus. He has pledged this place is